Hello, and welcome to my virtual learners. To get the most of this asynchronous online session, it is best for you to find a quiet space that is free from distractions. Turn off your phone, close the door, and get comfortable. If you haven't already done so, please run the audio setup wizard to make sure that your speakers are set at a comfortable level for you. I will check that there is a red button that tells me that this session is in fact being recorded, and I will verify that there is a blue microphone appearing next to my name that indicates that I have clicked on the talk button. You should be able to see the names of the slides in the upper right corner as I advance through the presentation. This is the first in a series of 3 presentations that are based on the book E-Learning in the 21st Century, a Community of Inquiry Framework for Research and Practice that was written by Dr. Randy Garrison. This book is the text that we are using in the course EDT 8140, Making Online Courses Interactive. My name is Cheryl Silcox, and I will be your facilitator for this workshop. At the completion of this workshop, you should be able to explain what is meant by the term collaborative discourse, describe the 3 presences of the community of inquiry model, and develop questions to evaluate a collaborative learning experience. John Dewey, an American educational philosopher who lived in the late 19th century, believed that learning occurs at the intersection of ideas and activities. He held that for learning experiences to be deep and meaningful, there has to be a collaborative exchange of ideas that allows those involved to construct and confirm ideas that are shared. His work is the basis for the collaborative constructionist view of teaching and learning. It was Dewey's belief that education, combined with experience, prepares students to become productive members of society. Learning by collaborative discourse is not a new idea. It has its roots in the academies of ancient Greece. The Socratic method was described by Plato in his dialogues. The philosophy of teaching involved a teacher who was an expert in the topic at hand, and a student or searcher. The student would question the teacher, and the resulting dialogue would allow the two to collaboratively create and confirm meaning. The community of inquiry is very much like the academies of ancient Greece. It is composed of individuals who share the roles of both teacher and learner. Each participant brings his or her own knowledge and talents to contribute as the group engages in inquiry with the purpose of collectively constructing and validating meaning. Before we get started, I'd like my virtual participants to pause this video, go to the discussion board in our pilot course, and respond to the following questions. Have you ever, either formally or informally, participated in a community of inquiry? What was the topic? What form of communication was the interaction? Was it conversation, written, digital? Please also take time to read others' posts in the discussion and submit a response to at least one other discussion post besides your own. As computer conferencing became more prevalent in higher education, a concern was that computer-based educational experiences couldn't provide the quality of education that was afforded learners in the face-to-face environment. The community of a research project, the purpose of the study was to create a template that would guide the use of computer conferencing to ensure meaningful educational experiences. The project was commissioned by the Canadian Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council. This is a representation of the community of inquiry framework. useful information, and this interactive animation. The framework is intended to be used by instructors as a template for designing courses that will provide students with the educational advantages of communities of inquiry with the convenience of computer-based instruction. The model is based on the idea that there are three presences that must be developed for quality online educational experiences. These presences are social presence, cognitive presence, and teaching presence. Social presence is the ability of learners to project their own personalities to other members of the community. This helps foster a sense of community in the group and helps learners become more engaged with the content. For purposes of assessment of computer-based educational experiences, three categories of indicators have been established for social presence. The first type of indicator is personal affective. This category measures the ability of learners to express emotions and project themselves into the educational interactions. The second category of indicators measures the learning climate and the ability for learners to express themselves in a safe environment. The third category looks at the group identity as a whole and the presence of collaboration in the learning process. Cognitive presence is measured based on the 4 phases of the practical inquiry model. The first phase, the triggering event, should catch learners' attention and create a sense of puzzlement. During the exploration phase, learners exchange their personal knowledge of the topic. Through discussion of the information, ideas are connected to create personal meaning. This is the integration phase. Finally, in the resolution phase, learners are able to apply their newly created knowledge to problem solving. Teaching presence is measured by 3 categories of indicators: design and organization, facilitating discourse, and direct instruction. As teacher and leader of the educational experience, one of the primary responsibilities is the design of the curriculum. The teacher decides what topics will be addressed and by what methods. The exchange of information will occur by facilitating discourse. The teacher encourages sharing information and the exchange of ideas among the members of the group. Finally, the teacher is responsible for focusing the information that has been exchanged among the group and helps guide the learners to resolution of the issues. Ultimately, the overall educational experience is shaped by how well teachers and learners are able to develop the 3 presences. Some tips for creating and sustaining productive communities of inquiry are to plan for the creation of open communication and trust. Learners should feel that they are safe in expressing themselves and that they will each respect others' opinions and not be subject to inappropriate response. Critical reflection and discourse are at the heart of the community of inquiry. As ideas are presented, learners should be able to reflect on ideas and discuss them so that gaps in the logic can be exposed and resolved collaboratively. Learners should have the sense that they are part of a cohesive community in which each member is respected and everyone will contribute to the experience. Finally, inquiry should move toward a resolution and assessment of the success of the inquiry should be in line with the intended outcomes of the exercise. According to research, there is an evolving relationship among the presences which shows that communities of inquiry change as they evolve. At the beginning, social presence is the strongest, but as the group develops, cognitive and teaching presences become more important. Further studies have revealed that for a community to be successful, the focus shouldn't be just on creating social interaction, but on creating cognitive presence through social interaction. Now I'd like our virtual participants to pause this video, go to the discussion board in our pilot course, and respond to the following questions. Have you ever, either formally or informally, participated